Hey everyone, how's it going? It's your boy Skilled Fawn. Today we're going to be doing a Need for Speed Carbon challenge run. Let's waste no time and get straight into the rules. This challenge follows NUZLOCKE rules, meaning that if I lose a race event or get busted by the cops, I must sell that car. This will be interesting since we essentially will have one life per car. Next, we must beat the game. Lastly, glitches and or exploits are allowed, so expect some cheeky ways to take down bosses and get around areas. The Need for Speed games are some of my favorites, so I'm excited to share this with everyone. Let me know down below if you'd like to see more Carbon and Most Wanted content in the future. Make sure to smash the like button, comment, and subscribe if you haven't yet. Without further ado, let's get into the run. Starting the run, I get to choose my initial car. I usually go with the RX-8 tuner option, but wanted to try the muscle class since I've heard it is the best class in the game. After securing several first place finishes, we eventually come across our first boss, Angie. Angie's muscle car packs a serious punch. Now let's break down the different race types, especially for those unfamiliar with the game. Races are divided into a few different events: speed trap, drift, sprint, circuit, and checkpoint. Each has unique mechanics that require a tailored approach, so it's important to play optimally for each event. For example, speed trap events are all about hitting the highest speeds at specific checkpoints, so using boosts right before crossing them gives the best results. The drift events are one of the best aspects of this game in my opinion. It's very fluid and fast paced, which make things so much more fun compared to the newer Need for Speed games. Chaining drifts together will build up multipliers alongside gaining more points. Completing various events on the map will let the player acquire that territory. When all the territory is collected in a sector, the player is allowed to fight the boss. After claiming enough turf, it was time to take on Angie. I wanted to first upgrade our set of wheels. Since all of the tier 1 parts are in the starting zones, we are able to upgrade our car to the max in each category. This game has car tiers associated with each car type. Starting vehicle is tier 1, we will have to get a better one soon if we want a better chance at completing the run. Challenging Angie, the first boss, things went fairly smoothly. For majority of the race, she was a fair distance trailing behind. It wasn't until the second lap that she decided to kick things into overdrive, and I had to play things cautiously. Ultimately, we beat her in the first race. The canyon runs are some of my favorite events in the game, especially the boss fights. First run, we chase the opponent. The closer we follow, the more points we will score. In the second run, the opponent chases us. Similar to the first round, the closer they follow, the more points we will lose. Lastly, if the leader loses the lead for more than 10 seconds, they lose. And if a driver falls off the cliff, they lose. My goal for these events is to usually pass the boss if I can, so I may avoid the second part of the event. Well, I tried to get past Angie more than a few times, but was unsuccessful. Unfortunately, when I was going for the overtake, I'd bump into her, reducing my overall score. Thankfully, things worked out in the second part though, and Angie was no match in the end. Heading into the next sector, we are introduced to Kenji and his tuner crew. Darius gives us some words of encouragement. Then we go back to grinding race events for cash, parts, and progression. Getting into Kenji's boss fight, I decided to bring the Mustang. One good thing is that this is a tier 2 car, so we will have increased power and acceleration. One downside though is that the tier 2 upgrade parts are scattered with Kenji's sector and also Wolf's, the boss we will face afterwards. He's not the biggest hindrance, but it would have been much more comforting knowing I had a highly tuned car. Kenji definitely put up more of a fight than Angie did, so I had to play extra aggressive, making sure to not let him pass. When he did, well, I punished him. In the end, we beat his first event. His second event, well, I was going a bit too fast and flew off the side. Rip our first car. Instead of buying a new car, I decided to try my luck with the starting car. Making sure to not fly off the edge this time, I played the canyon event much more cautiously. It paid off since in the end we defeat Kenji. After defeating him, we claim his markers and receive his set of wheels. Doing some more races in a nearby sector, Wolf, the next boss, challenges us. Wolf is the toughest and fastest boss we've faced thus far. There were many times during the events where things could have gone one way or the other, since he was right on my tail or activated hyperdrive and just zoomed ahead. The first event's end was a hairy situation. As many seconds behind Wolf, with the finish line looming closer with each second, I knew I had to do something. I took the nearby shortcut, and well, things were neck and neck. Somehow, I ended up getting the win. I was super thankful since the RX-7 has treated me well thus far. Up next, we have the canyon event to seal things off. Well, this canyon is much more manageable compared to the previous ones, so yeah, there are a ton of straights, so it's super easy to pass. Ultimately, that is what I did, and we took them down. I ended up losing some cars unfortunately, the RX-7, then the 350, and ultimately the Supra. Things were not looking great. With funds and usable cars at a low, I knew it was a do or die moment. I entered Darius's boss events. This is the guy from the beginning who was scheming behind our backs the whole time. His events are a bit unique compared to other bosses. Usually it is just one race then a canyon event. For his races, it is a canyon, then race, another race, and then lastly a canyon. So 4 events in total. Saying these races are difficult is a massive understatement. I have to beat 3 opponents in the first 2 events, the bosses we've beaten previously. They have tier 3 souped up cars, so it's a constant battle. Darius is an even worse offender in regards to him being OP as heck. If I don't block him often, he will rubber band pass, and I'll probably never catch him. Even though his 3rd event is tough, the pinnacle of challenging is the canyon event. I swear, this dude activated ultra rubber band cheats mid-race because I blinked and he was pulling away from me like crazy. In the end though, I lost to Darius. The next day, I started the challenge anew, this time with a revised strategy. While the first attempt was unsuccessful, it did provide me with more experience in the game, what build I want to go with. The first run, I started with the muscle cars, and then that progressively opened up more options for later muscle cars throughout the game. Well, I ended up learning when trying the starting car on Darius, alongside the other late game muscle cars, that canyon events are much more brutal to handle. I usually stick with the tuner cars because they have really great handling. In my opinion, handling is the most important, especially in this game. Top speed and acceleration obviously should be considered, but if you are hitting side to side because it's barely getting any grip, then is it really better? Well, at least for me it's not. Maybe others will find the muscle car class to be the best, and so I'm curious to hear down below. Going through the various events and bosses we faced previously, things went much better than before. I ended up not losing a car in any of these sectors. This will make the final bosses events much more manageable, since I will have more cars and cash at my disposal. In Darius's race events, things once again were utterly brutal. I ended up losing car after car. Ultimately, my hope was withering. Getting to a point where this was my last car before succumbing to the starting car, I used one of my favorites, the Supra. Of the late game tuner cars, this has the worst handling, but can be made much better with upgrades. During the race, my head was on a constant swivel, making sure that no one came by. I was basically those dudes from DS2 with the double shields. The canyon event with Darius is my kryptonite and nemesis within this game. One thing I picked up on my previous challenges was this exploit with Darius, basically forcing him to bump into me, ultimately giving score. Well, that did not go over too well in this run. It worked well in the 1 car challenge since I had unlimited attempts. I do not in this. I had to either get the cheese or beat him straight up on the first attempt. Eventually though, I got this, which was a bit of luck, but more so skill. Felt awesome to take down Darius and complete the challenge. This was Need for Speed Carbon NUZLOCKE, and it proved to be rather difficult. The beginning and mid game is fairly straightforward, but then the final sector is damn difficult and jumped massively. Nonetheless, it was a fun challenge to complete. I always enjoy playing through the Need for Speed games, so let me know if you'd like to see more. This was just the beginning. If you thought this was tough, wait until the Ultra Nuzlocke run. Harder rules, crazier restrictions, and way more suffering. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. This greatly helps to support me and the channel, alongside pushing the video out to others who may be interested. Try to do something kind for someone today, whether it's a small or large gesture. This is your boy Skilled Fawn, and I'm out.
No, 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 no. Wait, 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 wait. Wait, 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 wait. You're gonna want it. You're gonna want it. You fucking... Fuck. Oh, no, no.